Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel Messages for July 14th through the 20th, 2025. So, before we get into the reading, let's just take a moment to set our intention, to be aligned with our angels' messages through the wisdom and light of oneness. And be open to receiving what it is that your heart and your soul needs at this time to flourish and heal and to find peace. So I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone back to this weekly series and to also welcome anyone who's new to our Angelic Wisdom community. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you're subscribed and select the all notification bell, and of course like and leave your comments. If during the course of this video you feel called to have an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services, and just be aware, since it's now this summer, that my office hours are from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you'd like to support my channel, then you can use my PayPal me link to submit any support, financial support that you would like to offer. If you haven't seen the monthly Ascension Angel Messages for July, that video will be the first one link that you will see in the description area beneath this video. So please make sure that you check that out, and all the other things I mentioned, those links are there as well. So let's take a deep breath and just focus on releasing everything, just letting go, and just letting it all just flow deep into the earth, deep into the heart of the earth and of Lady Gaia. Just let it all just flow like water deep into the earth. Let your fears go. Let your anxieties go. Let your worries go. Just know that you have the power to release and surrender it all. And they really want you to do this as often as possible, because we're often holding on to so much, and we're holding on to it with a sense that we're alone. And this particular grounding exercise can really help you to remember and not only just remember, but to get in the habit of not holding in or holding on to anything, and that you're not alone. The angels were showing me the word lack, and so that's a bit of my symbol for that we're worried about things in terms of finances, or material things. And that all of our energy right now is being focused on what we could lose and what we don't have enough of. And just think about that for a moment. That to put all of your universal resources into thinking about what you might lose and what you don't have. And instead, put it on what you do have and what really matters to you. If you didn't worry about any of those things, about what you might lose if you do or say a certain thing. And if you were able to focus on what you do have as opposed to what you don't have, in the light that what you have is actually what you need and what you might perceive as being weaknesses, that in what you have the strength, you have the resources, you are all that you need to be right now in order to be successful in anything that you truly care about. So often this focus on lack of what we could lose or what we don't have makes us feel like we're weak and inadequate and unworthy. I'm just reminded of, I was doing a guided meditation, and at the end, it was sort of a global or universal intention where connecting with the intergalactic council for things for the planet and for humanity. And when I started to focus on things that I don't have, and then I realized, well, I'm not the only one. And so I spread it to be something that we could all be relieved from. And it was all of a sudden this, I don't know, this it's sort of a veil, very sheer, but it was definitely created this shadow effect over everything as the word worth came up. And, you know, I could sense that we're all drowning in this concept of worth. And there's so many things that each one of us sort of connects or attributes worth to. You know, it doesn't have to mean that you don't feel worthy, in the sense that it's not just about finances, it's about so many things, right? When you think about it, it's about our pride, it's about, you know, no matter how much we've succeeded, we just don't see that success. It's deep on so many levels. And I felt like this shadow veil is what's holding all of humanity back, because we're all connecting with that word or that energy for millions of reasons. It's what I'm getting at is that's just not simplistic in the way that we usually think about it. Like a feeling of not deserving. is the one that everybody focuses on, and then you might just say, "Oh, that doesn't apply to me because, well, I'm wealthy," or um, you know, because I have this or that or this, I have this, and you think that that would sort of cause you to not be have any issues around worth. But there are so many ways, even when we feel successful or our life looks successful, that, or it doesn't, that this worth issue could really pertain to so many things. This power struggle in the world to strip people of their rights and their freedoms is a worth issue, not just for the people it affects, but for the people who are creating it. Because if you cannot see or value someone else's worth, and that you're willing to cripple them, then that means that the people who believe that they have power are suffering just as greatly or even more than those that they suppress and cause them to feel unworthy. And so, in this collective level, this may be something we need to address. However, this is a conversation that I've never had, and just listening and feeling and translating it to you. But as I look through news feeds, and you want to call it the um, social feeds, and some very powerful things are being said, and some very ugly things, and all in between, about what's especially going on in America, in our politics and government. But none of it gives me a sense of ease. The people who I might agree with versus the people I don't agree with, I still find no ease. And that kind of gives me a sense that we're all stuck. Does it matter what side of the issue you're on or whose side you're on? And we're all stuck in it together because there's something that we're all focusing on that's not giving life, but it's suppressing life. And I think about the law of attraction when my earliest understandings of it, um, and I hope this is a simple example of what I'm trying to say. When I think of war and those who want peace, but what often happens is that the conversation around peace is never given as much energy. It's actually given very little energy. The energy of what we deserve versus what we don't deserve. We focus on what we don't deserve instead of what we do deserve. And so if we are in an argument against war and one for war, we're still in the same argument of war. We're still talking about something and focusing all of our power and energy around something that we don't deserve. Wow. I wasn't expecting it to come out that way, but that's perfect how they brought that about. And that's the thing that they're talking about in terms of worth. That's how we're all focusing on unworthiness rather than worthiness. And it's the only way out. It's the only way to be free. And we keep forgetting this as points of attraction. We keep forgetting how critical it is to understand a point of attraction. And there's really 2 points of attraction, one that is worthy and one that is unworthy or undeserving. Every conversation, every topic, every position. So you could be on either side of a point of attraction. If it's not the one that you're worthy of, you are losing and you're feeling lack. It will grow. It will not lessen in any way. They're putting the word in my mouth, healing, and I'm saying to them, well, how do I explain that? What is the other thing here? But if I am sick and I want to be well, wellness is worth, deserving, and focusing on being sick is unworthy. But you see, wellness does not preclude that one needs healing. Wellness focuses on what I really need to be doing, what I really, where my energy really needs to go in order to be healed, in order to prepare me and my entire being for what I deserve, to open up to deserving wellness. But if I focus on just being sick, the only conversations that can be had on either side, one it's criticism, right? Because I'm either telling myself, I'm complaining, or I'm worried about the symptoms that might unfold, or I'm focused on the doctor's treatment in a way that doesn't align with the wellness, but aligns more with the fear of the sickness. If I want to be in a relationship, if I'm seeking love, again, I have to ask them. And I have to ask because these are things that I struggle with. It's very difficult for me. I'm in it with you. So to be given this opportunity to participate in the way that I do as a reader is, it's like walking blindly into the unknown. So there's the conversation again, deserving, worthy, or undeserving, or unworthy. And in the conversation unworthy, I'm focused on lack. I'm focused on what I don't have. I'm focused on everything I've missed out on. Jealousy, envy. The focus on deserving of relationship or love or whatever it is there's a different conversation. Not only it's focused on what I'm deserving. It's focused on the love that exists around me, the exchanges of love, and not just placing romantic love. I mean, of course, it sells. It really sells, right? The antidote for romantic love. But all the while, we're not appreciating the love. I was watching something today, um, and someone had prepared food romantically, but then I thought about when my mom prepared food for me, especially when I went home and she cooked my favorite breakfast, and you just think about love. And so many of us will go and say that we've never had someone to love us. So that conversation in that way is focused on undeserving versus focusing on deserving and worthiness. So we have to be aware of the 2 points of attraction. And we need to shift. We need to be aware of these 2 points of attraction in order to shift. Because it's easy to be focused on the point of attraction of undeserving and not know it. You might say, like you might have tried everything you could to achieve something. But if it was based on the criteria of the recognition that you don't have it and therefore grow in this sense of pain that you'll never have it because deep down you don't think you deserve it. And even if you're on the other side where you know you deserve it, but you feel the pain, and that's the way your conversation comes through that pain of lack, then you're still focused on the point of attraction of not deserving, unworthy, or lacking something, or just a feeling of loss or grief. And so the angels really want you to switch to the other point of attraction. If you want wellness, you have to focus on it. If you want peace, you have to create more conversations around peace and what it will look like. What will wellness look like? What will love really look like? What are the ways that you can become this within yourself or use your life to produce them, to manifest them? What are the ways that you can engage with others who don't agree with you, but through this focus of peace, of worth, and deserving? It's a very different thing to be opposing parties and focused around unworthiness versus being of different mindsets and being focused around the point of attraction of worthiness. Do you see? What could be accomplished if our parties who are at war, focused on war, let's just put it for simplicity of conversation, what could they accomplish if they moved over to peace? What would the conversation sound like? What would it really sound? Because it's going to sound very different. The atmosphere of their conversation will be drastically different as they become very clear through the process of really focusing on peace. They would come up with so many creative and successful ways of achieving it, just as much as they have been successful and creative in achieving war. This is something that you and I, as individuals dealing with the things that go on in our lives, we have to think about it in the same way. Let's take a deep breath and just release. See your angel standing in front of you now with its wings stretched wide open. Do you believe in your angel's love? Do you have faith in the support, the eternal support that your angel is always providing for you? Do you believe in their eternal light? And that light will never dim, as it has been commanded, given that charge to watch, to love and watch over you from the source itself, who is the greater power and love and light shining within each and every one of our angels. If you believe in your angel, step now into your angel's embrace, its energy. Feel it enfolding you completely and surrounding you from head to toe, back to front and side to side. And just now release. Release your fears. Release the point of attraction of unworthiness, undeservingness, lack, loss, grief, sickness, and confusion. And just take a deep breath and absorb the light and the energy, the keys and the codes of your guardian angel. Breathe it deep into your cells, its golden frequency. And enable your guardian angel to fill you with worth, hope, clarity, peace, understanding, wellness, love, oneness. The angels of transmutation of the violet flame are standing around you and your guardian angel. And they are raising the violet flame to transmute any and all of your fears. And lower frequencies. And we ask them to close the doors permanently to every lower path that has ever been available to you, making it possible for you now to be completely open to all the higher paths of ascension. And now the higher frequencies pour into you from every portal of light throughout the universe. Receive it. Now. And the archangels are facilitating whatever you need. So that the burdens of your heart are lifted. Feel lighter. They write the word crystal, and so this gives me a sense that your crystalline energies are being activated. By the archangels, and Archangel Gabriel and Shamuel and Metatron are assisting you. They write the word crossroads, and feeling sandwiched in by these crossroads. The angels wish to help to circumvent this, and with your permission given to them now, they can facilitate this for you. And they just show this to me by simply just going around sometimes. Sometimes we have to just go around things. We're not avoiding them. But that other point of attraction of deserving is like that. But remember, you're not avoiding anything. You're just focusing on it differently. Every problem has these 2 points of attractions, or any challenge. And you circumvent it by going about the way of worthiness instead of undeserving. All right, let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with. And it's Archangel Jophiel. And Archangel Jophiel is the archangel in charge of your crown chakra, your 1,000-petaled lotus, which is, he's holding a lotus in his hand. And this is about that you are not limited. Your crown chakra connects to all the star energies, different each one. And this reminds us that knowledge comes from many sources and that our creativity is unlimited and our perception and our way of understanding things is unlimited. This is what it means to act with wisdom. Each point of attraction is like a universe of these two that we've discussed. By switching to the other, you open up to cosmic wisdom, the wisdom that is not just out there, but that entire cosmos has always been within you. That is what your soul is. You don't have to go somewhere. You just have to start accessing it by shifting that point of attraction. It says, act with wisdom and use information for the highest good. Well, that point of attraction of worthiness provides information for your highest good. It brings energy to you for your highest good, as they write in front of me right now. They write the energy of liberty, true liberty. It's not the liberty that says, I won't go through anything, no more problems. It's saying that I have the freedom to attract what I want. I have the freedom to discern the energy that is worthy of me. In doing so, each time that you do your best, that's liberty. And that's the only type of liberty that we can rely on to get rid of this shadow that's over humanity right now. Not because we're not deserving, not because this ascension process is not available to you. It's only because of how we've been focusing our energy. Now we need to use it wisely. So the cards were laid out from left to right, which gives us a sense that our focus needs to be on the outer as a reflection of a way to look in and understand. So the first card is the Knight of Cups. And boy, it just gives me such a sense when I look at it. I mean, there's this green and the yellow and the flag and the black. I see the shadows a lot in this card. And it gives me a sense of that we can approach these parts of ourselves that are undeserving from that point of attraction of deserving, of worth. It's the compassionate way. It's the way of the peaceful warrior. This understanding today feels like, I don't want to just say credible, but the clearest way of us being able to shift and reevaluate the way we think, the way that we look at the world and ourselves. And so that this may not be an easy work. You know, it's almost like he's gotten himself really in the mud. But he's standing valiantly because it's a passion, a spiritual passion to love. And he's willing to take on whatever comes his way in order to hold up that banner of light, of love. I know it's weird, but those little daisies just give me a sense of something happy, right? Blissful. It's like the sunshine, and love makes us feel like that, right? It makes us feel like we're shining light and the world is bright and everything is good, right? And it's just giving us a census card of what it's going to be like for us trying to really work through this. It's going to be challenging, but worth it all. So don't give up. This night is a dreamer, right? So let your dreams dream big and put yourself really into this. This is the Two of Wands, Bastos. And here we have this woman who's looking directly at us with so much confidence and determination. This is the card, a sense of, the world is in my hands, right? That I'm looking out over this world and I know what I want and I know what I want to put out there. So I have clear plans, clear ideas. And this works so well with the Knight of Cups because that dream maker energy fused with this determination, strong will and confidence to create these ideals, right? It's just gives us a sense if we got to plant ourselves in what we really believe and focusing on energy in this way, because I don't want to create more war. Peace is this is what I'm passionate about. And I don't say a lot about the things that are going on politically because I just know that the energy, it just never feels like it's going to solve anything. And there is a way to speak truth, but if it's focused on the energy that's undeserving, it gets us, we still feel suppressed and oppressed by what's happening. But shifting to this just gives so much light, does it not? And we can find that way not only personally for our own personal lives and what we're going through, but for each other collectively and what we're going through together. And it helps us to understand, that on that other point of attraction of worth, that the conversations have to be different. The environment, the energy surrounding them. And there's a greater sense of hope and accomplishment and an ability to succeed, to come out, and it's not about everybody's way is going to be the way. But because we're focused on something that we all deserve, then we're going to all really get something better and worthy. Let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. And this is the Seven of Cups. So we got that dreamy energy again. Okay. And this card usually is like, I can't make up my mind kind of thing. Too many things going on. But I love it with the bee here who's, sort of pollinating and collecting the pollen. So our dreams seem to, with this card, would indicate that our dreams can take us somewhere. There's a bigger picture that having dreams really do serve a greater good. They're not frivolous. They're not a waste of energy. There is work that has to be put in any dream, right? There's work that's to be invested. But you can't accomplish that work with the wrong point of attraction. And so it's not that dreams are bad. It's not that our hopes are frivolous. It's the point of attraction through which we come is what has been making them seem this way, this other way that we commonly associate with them. But to have all of these cards gives us such a strong sense of hope that we can reapply ourselves now with some real knowledge, real spiritual technology that we've been given today. I saw the word simplicity or sympathy. I can't, it was very quick. But let's really give ourselves this opportunity this week to think about which point of attraction are we looking at? And what is the dream that you really have? And your dream is not wrong, it's clear. It's just how we keep going about it. All right, let's take a look at the card I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck. And a lot of lucky cards here. This is the Wheel of Fortune. It says Aurora da Fortuna. So, and what do we see here? We see, you would think it was the Death card. One, we see this grounding of the tree, right? So, as we were doing that angel meditation, we were releasing and we were receiving from our angels. And that's the part of this card that reminds me of the wheel, which demonstrated here. We have this letting go of, through death, and out of it, the spirit sort of rising, and feeding. And there's things that are growing out of it. So we see the roots planted, we see the decay, we see the cycle, right? The spirit rising up, the flowers rising up. We see a cycle that keeps on going. So this, as we release, we receive. As we focus intentionally with these 2 points of attraction, we can shift the kind of releasing and receiving that we experience. We're shifting from, misfortune to fortunate, fortunate ideas or journeys. I saw a word flash there and I forgot what it is. But have faith in yourself, in your dreams. This grounding that we did at the beginning feels very healthy because we need to not hold. We need to stop holding. And the only way we can really receive is that things have to continuously move through and out, right? And in and through and out, towards, in, through, and out. We have to keep that going. And this gives us more freedom as it allows for change. We're facilitating the cycle of change, which then allows us to really, when we focus on which point of attraction want to shift from one to the other, we can do it more readily. And this is the right word, prosperity. It's either going to create a lot of prosperity or this is the way of prosperity energetically. This in, toward, in, through, out, and back around again, right? And then focusing on that worthy point of attraction versus the unworthy and undeserving. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings. Have a powerful week. God bless you. And act with wisdom.